First time watching the stream. I hope it'll be a good one. Well, I hope it's not a terrible one. Okay, I'm gonna do an intro for YouTube now, all right? Everyone get pumped. You're on the YouTube video, I guess, for the rest of time. Hi, everybody. Mah-Dry-Bread here. Long time no see on any of the Let's Play stuff. This is that grinding streaming session that I said I would do like forever ago. We're finally doing it. I've got the chat with us on screen here and everything. It's the first time in this series we've actually gotten the chat on screen, which is awesome. We're just gonna be grinding today. So people were asking, where are we right now? And the question legitimately is, I think we're in the Lapis Cave or whatever it's called. I think we're like maybe half an hour behind where we were in the game before. I'm a little out of practice on the controls, by the way. I'll have to, this is where we are. So when I went to go load the file, I think it loaded me not one recording session back, but like one episode back. So we're probably wherever we left off like an episode or two ago. We're just gonna grind back up to this point. If you're watching through the playlist right now, this is a totally skippable episode if you want to skip it. It's just me, we're hanging out with the chat, we're gonna probably just grind for a long time and have a fun time. Now, why the save broke though, I'm not 100% sure, but I have a vague idea of why it might break, why it might have broken, but that won't make sense, I think, until the next episode. Oh, like to save your adventure? Yeah, sure. So, I know you want a more satisfying answer than that, but don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. We're very slightly behind. We're all gonna hang out. So yeah, that's kind of all I had to say for the intro here. We've already seen all this dialogue, so I'm just kind of trying to skip through it. Oh, I set up a turbo button for this, I believe. Yes, there I did. Yay! I'm probably not going to use it a ton because it's probably going to be way too fast anyway. But I just really thought I should set that up for the sake of making this grinding stream less horrific for everybody involved. Oh, thanks for resubbing there, Expired Puppet. I appreciate that. Are you ready? No. How do I do the... Waiting for you to get ready. Be quick. Other Pokemon are looking out for us. How do I make the choice to not go up the mountain again? Do I say yes and then we pick where we go? There we go. Rock Path. So what we're going to do is just do Rock Path over and over to level. The biggest problem is going to be the inability to grind Reviver Seeds. I can't read. I don't know if you knew that. Okay, let's just do a real quick reminder of everything. I haven't played in a little while. X-ray specs, locations of items and foes. That is really cool. I'm happy we have that back because of our save breaking. I suggest you store items so you can gather more. You know what? That's a good idea. After this round, we'll go do that. Don't know if you're aware of this. You can change what information displayed on the top screen. You can make the map up there and say, yeah, I believe we went over that in one of the previous episodes of this series, right? Didn't we? Pretty sure we did. Okay, what was the button again for... See, I gotta remember all of this. You gotta hold a button and then hit A, I think, to do whatever your equipped move is. I want to say it's R and then A. Probably... Oh, hold on. Bulbasaur, where are you going? What a goose. Yeah, thank you. God, they get lost so easily. L plus A, thank you. L plus A. Did I say R? Ooh. Right, I'm gonna... Was it... Okay, that's the aiming one. What was to throw a rock again, or use whatever your equipped item is, I guess? I like how the stream started off right as the last streamer was watching, went off for the weekend. Like, what a transition. That's perfect. That's awesome. All right, the stairs are all the way back. I was just kind of, trying to get levels. Oh, why is that always so much louder? I turned it down so much, and it's like so much louder than... we're really hurt. It's so much louder than anything. There we go. Also, I just attacked a wall. R plus L can be used to just scout ahead if you don't have X-ray anymore. That is true. And we leveled! Do you wish at the start of the game you had a different starter? No, I like mine. I like my cat. What a transition is someone's other name. Oh, I wonder who. Have you ever been recognized in public? No, ever since I blew up on YouTube, I guess is the best way to put it. Not that big, but you know. I have barely left the block. Like, I blew up at the very beginning of COVID, so, you know. How do I skip a turn again? You hold B and hit A. There we go. Okay, I want, whoop, not that button. For fuck. I wanted to turn around. That's this. Okay. Now, what button combo was it to use an item, by the way? Like your equipped item. I'm trying to remember for the sake of throwing rocks. Speaking of, we do have that equipped? Yes. Ever been invited to a convention as a guest? Yes, but I didn't go. One, it's during COVID, so, you know. They wanted me there for a, it was some New York one, L plus R, thank you. They wanted me there for some New York-based one, for some kind of Pokemon panel thing. They were going to do like I think it was a call-in panel. And they were acting like I was some kind of great Pokemon expert. It was really weird. But they seemed to be really flattered to have me. So I basically just explained to them, like, look, if you want a Pokemon expert, there's other better people for this. So then I actually went to go recommend a friend who also does Pokemon stuff, and you guys also probably all know him, but I won't say who it is just in case they care about me saying who emailed who or whatever. Do you watch OSW? Like OSW Review? Yeah, I'm friends with Jay Hunter. He's an awesome dude. I've been Patreon supporter of his for a very long time, actually. We did a podcast together once, a long time ago. Anyway. Sorry, I lost my train of thought a little bit there. I really want to get back to the area to put away some of my items. I'm afraid of accidentally losing them. Here we go. We'll just get out of here. It's only 3 floors, right? Oh, no, it's a little longer. Whatever. Anyway, so I went to another YouTuber who I thought would be a much better Pokemon expert for, like Pokemon PvP play, like someone who knows that stuff better than I do. And I just went to him and I was like, hey, these guys contacted me about this. Maybe you could go to the convention or like call into the convention or whatever. This seems like a better thing for you. And it turns out that they emailed him almost word for word the same fucking thing. They customized it just a little bit. But the line about, how did they word it? They worded it like, it would be such an honor to have the Mah-Dry-Bread, like, you are the guy to get for Pokemon. And then they said that to the other person, too, as part of their template, and it's like, all right, man. I get that you're just trying to get the YouTubers excited and make them want to join, and you are probably happy to work with these people, but that sucks, you know? So that's why I didn't go to that convention. Good question, though. So I basically just let them know, like, hey, look, I just spent my own time trying to help you find a guy that would be a better fit than me, just to find out that you're saying the same shit to everybody. That's not a good feeling. I went out of my way to help you, you know? So, what are you gonna do? Personally, I think it's hilarious. I was already not going. I was already telling him I'm gonna find somebody else who's a better fit, so it's not like it's any, it's not like it's a big deal to me, but the funniest part, when I told the other person, like, hey, you should go, and he's like, oh, I got that same email. I didn't reply to it. The other guy just didn't even reply to them, didn't give them the time of day, which I thought was really funny. Gonna have this on in the background while you finish Victory Road and do the last pre-E4 grinding in your casual Y2 playthrough. I hope you have fun with that. Whattageek in there with his "that's my other name" emote. All right, let's drop a save. Wonder if MDB and Whattageek are going to do Gen 7 randomizer, and if so, base or ultra. I don't want to do another randomizer for a while, at least not if it's super, super randomized. I still need to catch up on the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire one, and that one's... Ooh, I got so much grinding to do on that one. Like, I don't know. It's slow. I'm not getting much experience gains off stuff. Who knows what's coming next? You know, everything's got random moves. It's hard to plan for things. And so it's a daunting prospect when I already play an unreal amount of Pokemon for a living. Do I have any reason to have this used TM, by the way? I think we have a slightly old inventory because of that save file death. Still work, have fun. Okay. Everyone go follow Whattageek on his Twitch, though, by the way. He does stream. He streams more often than I do. Right, I'm just gonna put away stuff. It doesn't really matter. What is paralysis? I don't think anything here paralyzes me, but I'll hold on to one just in case. I'll store the Graveler Rock and then take it back out. Or no, I have to store all of them and then take them out for it to mix. Yeah. And then I need to re-equip it. Thank you for subscribing. Oh, okay. I misread that. For a second, I thought Twitchy, the Twitch user, gifted a sub to himself, but no, they actually gifted it to Alex G. Okay, I misread that. That's hilarious. I'm not going to use blast seeds and stuff, am I? And I don't want to use a reviver seed. Right, sorry, chat. You can sell them? I had no idea. Not usually thankful for a save file death. Yeah, I know. It's lucky that the file died and it went back to that one. I don't know what happened. Okay, so what a geek's out of the room right now, right? Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a slight little spoiler. We're a little bit into the episode, right? This is just the thank you for watching the casual stuff. Okay. All right, you're all ready? Okay, I just had to make sure that Whattageek's on. I don't want to spoil the surprise for when Brandon and Whattageek find out on the show. So, we actually had a viewer of the show mod the ROM. They modded the ROM so that we could put some custom art in. And I got Kestrel, the artist who did a lot of my main display picture that I use on YouTube right now. The new one, that is. Not the current YouTube one that pops up in the beginning of the challenges, but the Pokemon Challenge one that I was using for a while. She's done some art for me. I got her to redraw all of the Meowth portraits to be me mixed with Meowth, and it's awesome. Trying to draw what would MDF and B look like? What does our custom Meowth look like? And the ROM guy was able to get it in the game. So we're gonna have that as a surprise thing. But when we did that, for whatever reason, when we put in the new ROM, it didn't work with the newest save file. If I hit L2, it says save slot 1, right? That's what I do between every episode when we're recording sessions of it, so that if there's a weird crash or something, we can go back to the beginning of the episode and just re-record it, you know? And we'll tell you that we will record it whenever that happens. But you always have a safety save. It's just something you learn in a decade of doing Let's Play. Always have a safety save so that the audience doesn't miss things if technical problems arise. For whatever reason, it wouldn't let me use the newest save. It said that there was an error with it, but it did let me use the second oldest save, which was at the end of Lapis Cave. So that's what happened there, just in case anyone's curious. So that's why we have to go back, and grind up a little bit extra. Oh, he must be set to be aggressive right now. What a goose. That's fine with me. It means I have more time to read the chat. Sorry, I'm gonna catch up with the chat a little bit here. Got a sub to your friends, though? I don't know what that was in reference to. Ooh, Blast Seed. Nice! He can one-shot Numel. Seems like the only issue with the grind would probably be Pidgeot. Oh, you mean grinding in here? Yeah, Pidgeot's kind of a pain. Ooh, rocks. I need those. What does Heal Seed do again? Is it like Team Heal or something? I knew more. Far off pals to off, and your partner... Oh, Whattageek fainted. For fuck. Are you kidding me? Special band fell on the ground. Does that mean we lose our X-ray glasses too? Heal Seed's a full heal? That's pretty awesome. Yeah, we lost a bunch of our items. Cool. It happens. We deposited a bunch of... Yep, should have stored them. Yeah, should have stored that. I forgot to store that one. Reset? Nah, who gives a shit? Let's keep going. Death 1? We've had a bunch of deaths in this playthrough. Why did he die if only his partner went down? Honestly, I don't know. I didn't know it did that. It's weird. I don't know why. Oh, Oh, I didn't re-equip this. Let me... they took my rocks. That sucks. Okay. Alright, I'll just fight him then. First time catching a stream, binging your CK3 playthrough. That's awesome. I hope you like it. There we go. Some Grappler rocks. Sorry, not give. Set. Guess you gotta leave when your partner dies for story purposes? Yeah, I didn't know it would do that. That kind of sucks that I lost my X-ray glasses for that. MDB found an item somewhere. Please be a gummy. Oranberry. Okay, well... I'm not gonna complain about an oranberry. It's still healing. There we go. Whattageek almost died again, by the way. But he leveled! Yay! Would you consider Monster Hunter or Borderlands challenges? Probably not. I've barely played either. I beat Borderlands 2 once, a long time ago. And Monster Hunter, I've played Monster Hunter World. It is a good game and I like it, but I'm not like a huge player of it. I only do challenges in games that I'm usually quite familiar with. Am I gonna die here? Wow. I'm fine with that. Honestly, I'm completely fine with dying and losing items a bunch here, because it's honestly not very punishing. I don't really care about the items I get here. I'll store anything that really matters to me too much. What matters more is just that I'm getting some levels and I'm hanging out with you guys. I like that I can just read the chat a bunch. Found a cool ROM hack for WWE SVR, sorry, almost said 2K by reflex. 2011 for PS2 adds a modern 2K roster and a few AEW guys. It's actually a pretty fun ROM hack. Yeah, there's a lot of really good old wrestling game ROM hacks. Tweet it at me. Grappler Rock, okay. Your only concern is leveling up instead of collecting items? Yeah, more or less. I'm not really too worried about the items. I just want to level up and have a relaxed time. I don't want to be stressed about paying super close attention to every fight. God, Numel's really... See, this is annoying, because I want Whattageek to just hit his, he's doing Facade. I gotta tell him to just... But if I tell him to not use Facade, he's just gonna blow through his Vine Whips on, like, Pidgeot and stuff. Ugh. There we go. Imagine if after they grind, they have to redraw MDF and B and Whattageek swole as fuck. Do you have a target level? Not really. To be fair, there aren't many good items in this dungeon. Yeah, like if we find like something really good, like a Reviver Seed, I'm gonna try and store that. I'm just gonna die here, I don't care. Oh wow, I actually got the kill? Alright. Supersonic works around corners, that sucks. Fuck. Could faint? Nope, attacked in the wrong direction. That's okay. He's picking stupid moves at least. MDB during doing Dark Souls. I've never really liked Dark Souls. I played the first one for a little while. It's just not really my kind of game. Not my genre. Have you ever played any Yakuza games? Yes, I did a full Let's Play of Yakuza 0, and it's awesome. That game is really fun. Any plans for starter challenge in Gen 4? Not currently, no, but I do have other Gen 4 challenges that we're working on planning out right now. Like an HM only one. I'm planning out HM move only challenges in Gens 1 through 5. We gotta look into that though. Have you been keeping up on CK3 Royal Core? Any opinions on how it looks? I don't know what that is, sorry. Is that a DLC? I would not recommend Dark Souls. It'll make you rage. It doesn't make me angry. It's just not my kind of gameplay, you know? Did you play Omori? It's pretty recent. No, sorry, I don't even know if I know what that is. And to be first time seeing your streams. I hope you have fun. I don't stream super often. I'm trying to stream more. I used to stream a lot more. Hey there, NBB. Appreciate your YouTube content. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Nice to meet you too. Ow, double kick. Well, you know what? For double kick, that didn't do much. I'd love it if I just wasn't missing a bunch. I recommend Dark Souls because it'll make you rage. That's the thing is, like, games like that don't make me angry. It's just not my thing, you know? I have nothing against them. I think it's cool. I actually watched Dark Souls Challenge the other day. What was the name of the channel? I actually just joined their Discord recently. Let me double check it for you, actually. It was, the channel was, where's the name? You know what, didn't I open a tab? I think he just made a new one. Where is it? Where'd I put that tab? This is so interesting, isn't it? Me looking for a tab. Where is it? God damn it. I'll find it later. All right. Let me bring the chat back up so I can see it again. There we go. I can't find it. I couldn't find the tab. I guess I had closed it. Oh, let's get him. There we go. Get his stat debuff gone. The Numels really stress me out because they can almost one-shot Whattagoos, but Whattagoos can one-shot them if he uses the right move. Do you ever play Minecraft? Yes, I have quite a bit of Minecraft on the channel, in fact. Are you planning on doing a platinum run with no Poke Center? Not currently. I like Dark Souls challenges because they make you have to be good at stuff you don't normally use. Kind of like Nuzlocke. I guess. I don't find them terribly comparable, just like, because a challenge in most games I don't think is really comparable to a Nuzlocke. Just in general, like the skill sets don't cross over is what I'm trying to say. Great example of this. Solo Pokemon runs do not make you any better at Nuzlocke. Like, it's almost entirely unrelated. You play it completely differently. But people all the time will say to me, like, you must be really good at Nuzlocke because I'm good at, like, solo Pokemon runs and stuff. And no, not at all. Totally different skill set. I'm sure I'm terrible at Nuzlocke. I am awful at PvP. That's another thing is people think that, like, I'm really good at, like, Pokemon PvP or something. No, not at all. Terrible. I don't know any of the meta. That's just not what I do. I do entirely player versus, like, the campaign, you know? Would you ever do a Nuzlocke playthrough? I'm not going to say never, but I don't like Nuzlocke Pokemon. I never found it fun. Like, nothing against other people who do it, obviously. That'd be ridiculous. I have nothing to deal with poison. But I've never had fun playing a Nuzlocke. I like permadeath in a lot of games, like XCOM and stuff. That's really fun. The game makes Nidorino look massive. I know, right? Confusion is just the worst. Confusion and poison is the worst. I am getting annihilated in this dungeon. Well, I guess I need to grind. It happens. The skill sets are different, but I like having the game force you do stuff you don't normally. When casual play, that's how I found out I love Sock. Yeah, that in general is really cool. I'm just saying that Nuzlocks and like challenges in games teach you different skill sets. What I was saying before though about permadeath, like in Pokemon Nuzlocke, I like permadeath in games quite a bit when it's an option, because then it's usually balanced for it, at least in some way. And it might still be really hard, but at least like that's a thing that they had in mind when they made it, and so there's some semblance of balance for it. When you do it in Pokemon, wow, that hurt. Was that a crit? I think that was. When you do it in Pokemon, though, Pokemon's not balanced for it at all, like quite literally. And so there's a lot of mechanics in it that I find very frustrating for a game with permadeath. Like, you really can just be crit by any random thing and just die an otherwise completely unlosable fight. Like, you can very much get fucked by the numbers in Pokemon, and it normally wouldn't matter because you'd faint, you'd go back to the Poke Center, and then like 30 seconds later you're back at the fight. But in a Nuzlocke, that might result in multiple hours of grinding, and that's the part that I don't find fun at all. I have to grind enough in Pokemon just in my day-to-day life, and it sucks, but what are you gonna do? Hey, it's my job. Sorry, I was reading something in the chat there, and I totally lost my train of thought. I think if you click L and B, you can see the history of turns. You can see if it was a crit. L and B. Oh, thank you for the tip. I will check that the next time I'm curious about something. But yeah, could you imagine me trying to do challenge videos where whenever we die due to any random innocuous thing, you know, I have had runs in Pokemon where I get poisoned on a 10% poison chance 5 attempts in a row. Like, this is a monthly occurrence for me, that I have fights that go that ridiculous. And half the time I don't even bother showing them, because it's like, oh, Trainer 2 on Nugget Bridge, I missed on him 6 times, but he was also no threat, nothing around him was a threat whatsoever, and I have nothing else to say about him, you know? It's like, do I include that in the video? If it's funny enough, sure, I'll include it in the video, but sometimes it's just not. But I've seen enough of that stuff in Pokemon just from my job to know I do not want to do a Nuzlocke challenge. I don't want to be up late on Saturday, almost done the challenge, and then my whole team wipes to the final boss and the whole video is just a bummer now. I'm good. If you do a Nuzlocke, it should be on stream and not a challenge. I agree. I still don't know if I would bother doing it. I don't know. I make no promises just because it's not that fun to me. I don't think you want to watch me play a challenge I'm not having fun with. And if I start it, I'm going to feel obligated to keep doing it whether I like it or not. Man, he wasn't even critting and his quick attack was hitting for 36 and 38. That is a monster. Man. If I remember correctly, you don't have to keep running Rock Path. Mount Blaze should have a turnaround point to the entrance. I think you're right with that. I think you're right about that. I'm trying to remember now. I personally skip the non-Pokemon challenges. You don't need to watch anything that you don't want to watch. I don't care. It's all up to you. No hard feelings. I would appreciate it if you at least try the non-Pokemon challenges sometime, just because I put shitloads of effort into them, and I'm really, really proud of a lot of them. I honestly think that most of my non-Pokemon challenges are better than most of my Pokemon ones, just because the non-Pokemon games are funnier and they give me better material to work with. And I try to, in the first run of any non-Pokemon game, I thoroughly explain what is going on in the game so that if you don't know the game, you kind of get familiarized with it. But if you don't feel like it, Don't worry about it. No hard feelings. I don't blame you at all. Your time is your time. You don't need to feel obligated to watch anything you don't want to watch. It's fine. So there you go. Will you ever do a Fallout 4 challenge? That'd be really cool. Maybe. I've beaten Fallout 4 a couple times. I actually beat it on the hardcore mode where you have to sleep to save. That was hell. It was back when I was working for, what was it, Shoddycast. Back when I was working for Shoddycast, I was working on making a video on how to beat the entirety of the hardest difficulty without power armor. So I beat the whole game without power armor. I recorded, I think, almost the whole fucking thing. And I wrote this big list of tips that I realized as I went, of like what I was learning as I went, how to stay alive, stuff like that. Trying to make this big guide, because I realized when I looked online, like, for tips on how to play the hardest difficulty, I don't think most of these people who wrote these guides on these websites have actually beaten the game on that difficulty, because a lot of the tips really sucked. So I was working on it, but the video never made air, because by the time that I was ready to start, like, actually producing the video, Shoddycast imploded, and the boss started, he started letting people go, and they were downsizing it, and that's around when the owner sold it to, I believe he sold it to Austin of the Science, who, he looked like he was gonna start doing something with Shoddycast, and then I don't know if it's still going or not. All I know is Shoddycast is not remotely what it used to be. You worked for Shoddycast? Yeah, I actually got a video on Shoddycast that I think has like over 1 million views or something. That was before I even got big on Pokemon challenges. I did a couple videos. I did one video for Shoddycast where I did the entirety of the script, the editing, the voiceover, the everything. And that was one on Fallout 4's gunplay, I believe. Fallout 3 in comparison to 4's gunplay or something. That was my pilot to pitch to them of me joining their channel, and they accepted it. Then I edited a script? I'm trying to remember. This was a long time ago. I think I did either the footage capturing or the editing or something for something that they did that Josh, I think his name is? Josh, the owner, the previous owner, that he was doing. And then there was another video that I edited for him, but it didn't air with my edit, because while I was editing it for him, there was like a hurricane or something, and the guy that I had to communicate with to do the video lived in Florida, and he didn't have internet for like a week. So he just ended up doing the whole edit on his laptop in an Airbnb, not knowing that I was also working on it. And so they just went with his edit because he finished it. You know, he had it done by the time we got back in contact, so he just aired that, which completely fair. He still paid me for that though, which I wasn't even going to ask for pay on that. I told him he didn't need to if you're not even going to use my edit. And I get it. I should probably get paid for that because I still did the work and everything. But, like, honestly, I just, on a personal note, I wouldn't have minded because it's such a freak incident, and I just was more concerned about him and his health, honestly. But, you know, I only mildly changed my handle this time, so shush you. You're right. You did only mildly change it, but now I don't know how to fucking say it. How do I do an R noise directly into a V? Maybe this is easier in French. Do I still just say river? Like, it looks close to it, and it's easier for me to say in my big dumb accent. Any plans for Hitman 3? Hell yeah. I don't have like any date or anything that we're starting at. I don't know that yet. I'm trying not to worry too much about Let's Play stuff, just because I just did 10 years of Let's Play stuff every single day, and so I kind of need a little bit of distance, you know? I need to, what's the word? I need to take a little bit more time for myself. So, you know. You ever played Pokemon Coliseum? Would you consider a challenge in it? Damn. It's always the Pidgeots. They hit like a freight train. I have not played Pokemon Coliseum. I do want to at some point, probably on the channel, almost definitely a Let's Play. And ever consider a challenge on it? Maybe after I've Let's Played it. My general answer with Pokemon games is I generally want to at least play through it casually or let's play it before I do a challenge. I don't want to do a challenge in a Pokemon game that I haven't beaten in my life, you know? I have done that before, though, where my challenge was the first time I beat a game. I'm trying to remember which one. Was it Skyrim? I think it was Skyrim. I feel like I only ever got to near the end of Skyrim, but I never bothered finishing the whole plot. I could be wrong, though. I don't know, because back in the day, I would have owned the old version of Skyrim, you know, before they did the remaster whatever thing. So I can't go back and check the... Well, maybe I can go back and check the achievements, actually. I don't know if there is an achievement for that one. Man, Pidgeot is a beast! Hey, MSX. Still holding out for a Yakuza Kiwami Let's Play. I still want to. I'll bother you for the rest of the series. Trust me, I will do it someday, and I'm sure I'll love it. You lost to missing a scratch. This game is brutal. I know, right? I miss on scratch all the time on these guys. You ever thought about trying a Digimon game? Yeah, I've already done one on the show. I did a bit of an old PlayStation 1 one, and it was really, really good, and I want to get back to it. But again, the general answer to why haven't you done this yet? Unfortunately, you already know the answer. It's one human can only do so many things, and you know that I've done a lot of things. And so, there is only so much time for so many things. Over the last 13 days, I have gotten a minimum of 10,000 steps every single day, like walking. That has been wonderful for my health. I feel way more comfortable just sitting in my chair and everything. I'm standing up a lot more often. It's great. Because I've always been good about... right, I can't attack around a corner like that. I've always been good, at least the last couple of years, about stretching a lot and working out like 3 times a week and eating well. But I haven't always been good about staying consistent on cardio or steps. And I do have a very sedentary job. So... you gotta find time to walk. And I legitimately, a great deal of the time that would be spent editing or recording Let's Play is now spent walking in a circle around my bedroom because it's COVID and travel restrictions, you know, Ontario. Did someone of you guys play Digimon World 4? I haven't. Brandon hasn't. Whattageek probably has on his channel. Have you played the Golden Sun series? I had the second one on Game Boy Advance growing up. It was okay. I got really stuck at a certain point. I think it was like halfway through the game. Didn't know where to go. Could never figure it out. But I generally liked the game. Fucking Ontario, I know, right? Will you do more Nancy Drew games? Yes. 100% absolutely yes. Here's the thing. You must have seen the last Nancy Drew Let's Play, right? I mean, I'm guessing. I'm guessing if you're asking for this Nancy Drew Let's Play, you probably watched the last one. I said in that one that we will do the next one, and I know that was a long time ago, but I always stay good on these things. Trust me, it will get done. You just know I'm a busy man. It happens. All's good. Nancy Drew will continue. We are the #1 Nancy Drew Let's Players. Everybody who's anybody knows. I know we've only Let's Played one Nancy Drew game, guys, but we are the definitive Nancy Drew Let's Players. Oh, no, Whattagoos went down again. It's the dungeon of flying and fire types. This is so fun. When my partner goes down, we go down too. Oh, this is such a balls place to have to train. But we're not allowed to backtrack to other areas, so... I can try to climb the mountain again. I'll probably just faint on my way up, but maybe some of those encounters are easier for us. I'll try. Genuinely, I get so many comments and tweets and stuff just from people saying that they went to check out the old Nancy Drew Shadow at Water's Edge Let's Play just because we never shut up about it. Ooh, special band! And, yeah, they never regret it. They always tell me that they checked it out and they loved it. I've never had someone message me to say, well, that sucked, I shouldn't have listened. I just threw it at him and he didn't catch it. What a dink. That's his other name. All right, it was... Nope. It was this. There we go. Don't you have Shockwave in your moves? Oh, yeah! I forgot we learned that. That was a long time ago now. There we go. Put it in the toolbox. No, equip it, you dink. Give. Thank you. Oh, goddamn. Wasn't it we used Shockwave on the last episode and it did less damage than Scratch? Well, it hit Whattageek anyway. A great start. Awesome start. Whattageek, you want to land a hit? Thank you. Man. Alright. Fire and electric types are great offensively. Power Band. Good find. Return the special band, but no, special band, give Whattageek. Thank you. Sin Cara, no! I love Sin Cara, no. But no one gets that. no one's watched the really old Flash Trash. I always recommend to people who go back and watch the Flash Trash playlist, because I actually really love that series. I always recommend people don't start with episode 1 on that, just, like, start anywhere. Because, like, honestly, that series doesn't even need to be in order. It's just, like, random games. But also just that the series got way better as it went on. I don't think the first episodes were any of the best ones. Although that said, Sin Cara no was like episode 4 or something, wasn't it? Flash Trash is the best. Flash Trash is amazing, and Flash Trash is great all in a fucking row. I'm happy you guys like that series so much. For any of you, I guess, who are watching this on YouTube who don't know what Flash Trash is, it's a series on my channel from like way back before I ever got popular in any way, shape, or form, where me and Brandon would just play stupid Flash horror games, mostly horror games, but not entirely. And Brandon's played them, I haven't, and we just have some fun riffing on some stupid Flash games. It's just a fun time, you know? Nope, he fainted. We gotta fight fire types no matter which place we go in. Would you like to get help using a distress call or get the password for getting help? Literally, what does this mean? This is going on YouTube? Yeah. Purple Dots Forever. This is Flash. Do we need HTML5 trash? Don't worry. Most games on... a lot of Flash games aren't dead because of the Newgrounds player. All the old good shit on Newgrounds is still around. Some sites died, I'm sure, but some of it's still around. A lot of it's still around. Flash Trash will never be dead. It'll never be undoable, I'll put it that way. That's for the multiplayer. This thing on screen right now? You think reading the comments after the Flash games is hilarious? I agree. Whenever we play the Flash game, we read the comments after, and there's some real gold in there. I'm gonna just say no to that then. Flash Trash will never be dead. Is that a promise or a threat? Probably both. You can send a password to others and get a mission to rescue you. That's hilarious. Do you think they'll get tired of getting over Mount Blaze? No, that's impossible. Nobody could ever get past it. They should be around here still. Keep looking. Is this gonna happen every time I die when going up Mount Blaze? We got into the combo just from bringing up Sin Cara now. I know, right? It's a good joke. I'm just trying to think of like funny quotes from Flash Trash, and the funny quote, it's not even from Flash Trash, but the funny quote that always comes to mind for me now, because whenever I go back to my own channel, it's the first thing from the video trailer, which is press start cuck to enter. That was from Nancy Drew Shadow Hunter's Edge, too. There was just a really bad font in the game, and it very clearly said cuck to enter. Still don't know what to make of that. Wow, double kick. It really is unfortunate that we have the perfect types to be super effective hit by absolutely everything we fight in the place we have to grind in. Kinda sucks, but I still like Bulbasaur a lot, and I still like Meowth a lot, so I'm not complaining. I hope we get Evil Genius 2 sometime soon. You mean like me playing more of it, or do you mean like the game? Because the game's out. One Flash Trash episode with the little aliens that made the noise, and I quoted it for Discord for... Oh, the Nub Nub one? I think that game was called Urbix, right? That was Urbix, I think. Green Pizza's essay was hilarious. Yeah, that was a good one. Okay, hold on. Show of hands in the chat. Who here has no fucking clue what Flash Trash is and is sick of hearing about it? I just want to make sure that I'm not boring the shit out of you all. Urbix, episode 23, I believe. Fucking wine taster retro over here, swirling and sniffing the glass. Vintage episode 23. Fucking scholar of Flash Trash. I don't know how. How did you just know that episode number? I didn't know the episode number, retro. I don't know how you remember my show better than I do sometimes. In fairness, you've just kind of been watching forever, I guess. I've watched way too much Flash Trash. Is there such thing? Legit, like, I don't go back and rewatch like a ton of my stuff just because there's so much, and I only have so much time for stuff, you know? But I will occasionally go back and rewatch through some of my best of videos. I got a playlist called Best of MDB, and it's just like clip shows of the funniest moments from series on the channel, let's plays, Flash Trash, whatever. I'm really proud of that playlist, actually. In fact, I've got a friend working on another video for that playlist right now with some Fallout New Vegas streams we've been doing. Do you guys know Dean Cuddy, the editor for like Mathis Games? He's a friend of mine, and he's working on an edit for me, so don't know 100% sure when that's going to be out. I told him no time limit, take your time, you know? Just have fun with it. All that matters is that in the end, it's a fun video. And so he's just going to let me know whenever that's done, and then I'll throw it up on the channel, and you guys can enjoy that. I'm not expecting, like, any of those highlight videos to, like, be huge and popular or whatever. It's, you know, it's Let's Play stuff for me. The Let's Play stuff is just for fun, essentially. I don't really expect to turn a profit on it. I'm paying an editor to edit I'm paying an editor to edit some dumb stream of me playing a game that'll get like 5,000 views on YouTube or whatever. I'm not expecting to make anywhere close to a profit on that. It's for fun. Oswald McGillicuddy! Yes, I do go back and rewatch the Saw Best Of video. We played the Saw video game, the first one. That game is fucking hilarious. I'm sorry, did that bird just throw a rock at me? Okay, Shockwave, how much is it gonna do? 33 damage. Okay, I might just die here. Yay! Take that. Remember Don't Escape? Yes, I do remember Don't Escape. And Don't Escape 2 and Don't Escape 3. Those games are actually pretty good. I liked those ones. I know there's a fourth one made. Long time no see, Mah-Dry. Happy to see you here. I hope you have fun with the stream. I'm gonna die here. Oh no, I held on. Okay. Okay, well, we're up close. How much damage does Scratch do to him? Actually, I don't know what I just had powered down. I'm just gonna play it safe and Shockwave. I think it doesn't miss, and that's the gimmick in this one. Like, same as regular Pokemon, I think. Rocks are often used to kill birds. See, you got the deep cuts there from either. That was Pokemon Platinum, A Journey on my YouTube channel. I love whenever we just reminisce on old MDB stuff. I appreciate it. I'm happy that you guys all care so much. because this stuff means a lot to me. So I'm happy that it means a lot to you. I'm gonna just sit here and get a little health. Shockwave never misses? Okay. I do know that it'll hit my partners if they're in the way. So it's not like it like teleports to them. It is still a projectile. But I know that there's no accuracy check, if that's what we're talking about. Astonish is a ghost move in Meowth's normal type. How did it do damage? I don't know, to be honest. I know that some mechanics are different for this game than regular Pokemon mechanics, but I don't know all of the rules of it, you know? The Jewish Bohemian Merchant Republic is still one of your favorites that I've done. That series was a fun one. There were definitely days where it was super stressful or like, you know, where it's like, oh man, we're just trying to survive and get through and it's rough. But man, just looking back on that whole series, that was a good one. I would like to go back to it one day. It's just, God, you know, it's so hard to find time for everything. This game's immunities are just, like, extremely not very effective. Okay, but they still do damage, so it's just super weak. Got it. It does 1/8 damage or so. Will this medicine cure Amphi? Will never get old? That's like a 9-year-old Let's Play now, probably. Pokemon Gold, when I Let's Played Pokemon Gold. That was such an old Let's Play. I was like a teenager. What's Trap Burst Orb? So there's traps in the same room. Ranged room. Okay, well, self-explanatory, I guess. 9 years? Fuck time. I know, right? I think that's legit 9 years. For anyone who doesn't know MSX, me and him were on a channel a very long time ago, quite literally probably like 11 years ago, called The Walkthrough Corner. That's how I met like Whattageek as well. He's also from that channel. That was a very, very long time ago. We're talking like, this was 10, 11 years ago. We're talking like Walkthrough Corner probably had like, I don't know, a maximum of 300 subscribers. I don't think any of us on the channel had more than 300 subscribers. I should have just backed up and let Bulbasaur do that. But yeah, we were on a small channel together back then, and that's how I met MSX. Now you have 5,000K on that account. What, on Walkthrough Corner? I mean, I don't have 5,000K on that. That's not my account. It was a collaborative channel I was invited to. I don't know, like, technically on a legal sense who would own it, since multiple people would essentially log in and run it. That confusion is harsh. I know, right? I don't know who technically, like, legally would own it, but it was run mostly by Jawan, and I think Whattageek did some stuff on it too. I knew that Whattageek would log in to upload his own stuff, I believe. Whattageek kind of helped manage. I think Whattageek still has the login information. 5.11K. What? Yeah, 5,000, right? I don't think I read that wrong. Right, anyway. That's how we all met. Not all of us. I knew Brandon from high school. Alright, let's just go back to the stairs. Ooh, Gust missed. Man, this grind is brutal. Did I say 500,000? Did I? I might have. If I said 500,000, I absolutely meant 5,000. Sorry. He did? Don't worry. Oh, sorry. I meant 5,000. I'm just illiterate. All right, gotta get a little water. My throat's sore. That CK2 Let's Play is what got you into the franchise? That's awesome. CK3 is so good. I'm so happy the game turned out. Like, it's still, like, missing features and stuff. Obviously, it's you know, it's just kind of how you have to make the game. You can't just put in every mechanic from the previous game right at the beginning, or else, like, how are you going to balance it properly if you don't have players actively playing it and finding bugs and stuff, you know? You're just asking for a disaster at that point. Yeah, we gotta get out of here. I love that you and Goose know each other from high school. Yeah, we sat next to each other in math class. It's so funny to me that, like, I know I've seen so many people who, like, when they hear me bring up Goose, they're like, "Oh my god, Goose It!" Like, you know Goose It? Or like they'll say to him, like, "Oh my god, you know Mah-Dry-Bread?" Dude, Brandon's been on quite literally over 3,000 videos on my channel. Like, he's been around since the beginning. It's just so crazy to me. Like, he's only been Goose It for like a year and a couple months, I think, something like that. Before that, he's had like 1,000 usernames, but mostly people just knew him for his stuff on my channel. But now I think the most famous stuff he's ever been in is probably his own channel, which is fucking awesome. I don't know if you guys have kept up with him, but he's not super far off of 100,000 subscribers now. And I think he's gonna get there pretty soon, so that's awesome. You keep up with CK3 Dev Diaries? Vaguely. Not super well. I keep up with the Hearts of Iron 4 ones better than I do the others, just because I've been so busy. Wonder if MDB recognizes me from the server. LOL, Everpoke? Yeah. You have, if I remember right, and don't crucify me if I get this wrong, because I'll feel really bad, you have a Lucario display picture, right? I don't remember if I recognize that from Twitter or Discord, but I feel like I've read a lot of messages from an Everpoke with a Lucario picture. I got it right? Sweet. Okay, I would have felt like a real asshole if I got that wrong. Could you stream Hoi 4? I have streamed some Hoi 4. I would like to stream it a little more. I've got almost every achievement. Almost every achievement in the game, but man, there's a few. There's like just a few that are really, really rough. And then there's a couple I haven't gotten around to because they're super time consuming, you know? Why are you grinding? Because, dude, we need to grind. We need to grind so bad. I'm the guy who brings up Subnautica a lot. You do bring up Subnautica a lot. In fairness, it's a really good game. I do want to play more of that. I know I've only scratched the surface on that game. That's kind of the enticing thing about it to me, is I know there's a lot in Subnautica I haven't explored yet, you know? Like, when I played it, it was years ago. I'm sure there's new content, and I only, like, I don't know, I got like a day or two worth of gameplay into having a little undersea base. So I know there's a lot I haven't explored yet, and I really want to at some point. I've only made like the first vehicle. There's got to be more vehicles than that, right? Scratch the surface, pun intended, pun not intended, but I'll accept it. Am I excited for Vicky 3? I would be an insane person not to be excited for Vicky 3. Vicky 2 is quite possibly my favorite Paradox game. I only started learning how to play it like a year and a half ago, and it so quickly became my favorite one. When I have free time that I decide to spend on video games, it's usually Hearts of Iron 4 or Victoria 2. I will warn you though, Victoria 2 is very not user-friendly, and you'll spend a lot of time Googling things and like wiki searching and stuff to figure out why things are happening. You'll need to watch Let's Plays to learn. It's unfortunate, it's kind of an old game and it was not user-friendly at all, but if you can get past the abrasiveness of the game, Victoria 2 is genuinely a very fun game. I would say it's pretty much required you play HPM. It's a mod for the game that is basically just an expansion that gets rid of a bunch of glitches. It gives more variety to that game's equivalent of the historical focus system. It gives kind of focuses to shitloads of countries that didn't have them before to help spice them up, and they're not generally ridiculous ones, you know? It's a mod that doesn't stray away from the spirit of the game, which is very important to me, because I kind of want that base game feel, you know? Or that designed to be this way game feel. What do you think of EU4? Awesome game. I've never been really good at it or anything, but I'm serviceable. Like, I can come out, if I play as a reasonably major nation, like a top 20 nation, maybe top 16 nation, I can reliably stay a great power, you know? or become a great power if I'm not quite one, you know? Like, I could play a country like Poland or Hungary and probably do really well, or not really well. I could do pretty well. I'm not gonna go conquering the world. But I'm no master. I'm not gonna do a world conquest. I'm not gonna play as like some small Japanese island and beat the game, you know? I'm not super practiced at EU4, but it's a great video game. Okay, hold on. I actually don't like this situation here. I'm gonna just walk down one, and I'm gonna try and nip this problem in the bud. Someone recommended to me that I try Victoria 2... what was the name? Europa Victoria 2 or something? I don't know. It's supposed to just be like another, like, this just makes the game better. And it does do some stuff I like. Like, it has stuff that helps with army organization, which is one of the absolute worst problems in Victoria 2. The built-in game's army organizer is brutally slow to use. Really, really, really sucks. But the game fundamentally changes how tons of it is played. And you could debate that it makes it funner in some ways, like, definitely. If you want to fuck around, that mod is pretty good. But it is so divorced from the original game experience that I wouldn't recommend it as a replacement for the base game. Random question, will you ever go back to WrestleMania 19? Oh, the fucking crazy game? Maybe, I don't know. Oh, I forgot to say it earlier, by the way. Someone said, will that medicine cure Amphi? I think it was MSX. I just got messaged the other day. You can see it on Twitter. I got messaged the other day from a fan who just wanted to animate. They want to do an actual animation of the will this medicine cure Amphi thing from our, like, 9-year-old Pokemon Gold Let's Play that I was just doing with my friends when I was a teenager. Do you have any fucking clue how cool that is to me? Like, that blows my mind. That was just me fucking around with my friends as a teenager doing some dumb videos on YouTube like a decade ago when I was a kid, and someone actually wants to animate that. They want to create art based around that moment because it made them laugh. That's fucking cool. I love that. Did the CK3 campaign end? No. Nothing has ended. Nothing has ended. Don't worry. It will continue when I have time. Just on pause, just like I said on the previous episode. I fell way behind. Not sure if it's on pause or just finished. Okay. Yeah, I say in the entire most recent recording session of it that, like, hey, don't worry, this is not going to be gone forever. You know? I just explained to everybody, this is for having more time for myself, more time for my family, more time to work on bigger challenges, stuff like that. You get so excited over fan art, it's the most wholesome thing. Well, it's because to me it's like the most wholesome thing, you know? That people want to make fan art of the show. It's really meaningful to me. Should have watched first? Don't worry about it. You just ask, you know? It sucks getting asked over and over, but, like, look, it's the life of a YouTuber. There's nothing you can do. Like, it doesn't matter how many times I put the message out there about any given thing. Anyone could just miss it, and it's completely reasonable, because fucking you don't track every last thing I say on Twitter and YouTube. You'd be crazy if you did. So stuff's gonna get missed. It's impossible for it to not sometimes get missed, so I can't blame anyone for it. What kind of schedule are you thinking when you get back to doing Let's Plays? No schedule. Probably no schedule, just whenever is ready, whenever feels right. Sometimes it might be frequent, and sometimes it might be infrequent. But I think it's gonna be big video dumps. I think it's gonna be like, hey, I've recorded 10 hours of Let's Play. The first video goes up and it just lets everybody know, hey, if you check the playlist, there's like 10 unlisted videos for you. That way it doesn't spam your video feed, but you can still watch all the videos, you know? There's just one video letting you know, hey, it's up. And I'll do some tweets and stuff just in case you miss it when the video goes up. And then it's right there for you in the playlist, and you can just binge it, you know? I was thinking maybe that would be a fun way, a compromise where I can still get lots of Let's Play stuff on the channel without spamming everybody's feed. MDB has 10 years worth of daily content plus more. Yeah, I did do more than 10 years of daily uploads because it was a video a day minimum. By the 10-year mark, I was just passing 6,000 videos, or just at 6,000. I was just below 6,000, but that was a count that wasn't counting unlisted. And I do have like a few hundred unlisted videos that are still publicly viewable in playlists. They don't show up when you search them. It's just because I don't want them to be anyone's first impression of me, because it's like really old stuff and just like, you know, Let's Plays from when I was a teenager where like my microphone sounds bad and I'm not very funny. It's the kind of stuff where like I would only want you to watch it if you already know who I am now, so that you know that this is like, oh, I'm watching something 10 years old and an 18-year-old is doing this or whatever, you know? You can Graveler rock the Moltres to death if you hide behind a rock. That's hilarious. I'm still gonna try and do it properly, probably. If that happens, it happens, I guess. But that's really funny. Remember to opt out of that Google security update, or else the unlisted videos go private. Don't worry, I did that day one. Because I got a lot of unlisted videos I would hate to have to manually go through and set back to unlisted rather than private. I'm happy there was an opt-out at least. You don't want your half-unavailable Fallout 1 LP to be someone's first impression of you? Yeah, when I was like turning 18, I think I was like 2 months away from turning 18 and I Let's Played Fallout 1 is just unwatchable. I think multiple episodes are missing. I don't even remember why. I think there was like a really old YouTube issue that happened, like, ooh. You're really getting into the 7 Days to Die Let's Play? That's awesome. I actually, that game really won us over while we played it. Like, it started off kind of fun and cool, but it got really fun as we went. We're really looking forward to going back to that one day. It ends a little randomly, but the game has had a lot of updates, and so we're thinking we're just going to start a fresh file the next time we play, just because there's so many updates, and we kind of want to start fresh, you know, new builds or something, new equipment, live somewhere different. Gotta change it up every once in a while, you know? Could you imagine the Kirby Air Ride podcast being someone's first impression? Yeah, I know, right? Or it's like, they're not even voicing it over. Or they're not even showing the video. What are they doing? Have you seen Valve's new device is basically a Nintendo Switch? Yeah, I saw pictures of it. The controller looks uncomfortable, but I really like the idea. So I hope it turns out. Enjoyed Pokemon Stadium playthrough. Thank you. I'm happy you liked it. So inspirational. I don't try to be, but I hear that a lot. It's weird. You see, the biggest takeaway I get from people who say that I'm inspirational is that I think that if a lot more people were really open with their feelings and, I don't know, their thoughts and how they experience the world, and like positive thoughts specifically. If people were more open about positive thoughts, I think people would find everybody a lot more inspirational, because I'm not doing anything special. I'm just like, I'm making entertainment for you that I'm really passionate about, and I'm telling you I'm passionate about it, and I'm doing it. You know how there are those people where it's like, don't say it, just do it. I say it and I do it, because I have no filter, so I just do both. Actions speak louder than words. But if you want to do even louder than actions, you do actions and words, because the volume is cumulative. It's because you're real? You're not really acting? Yeah. See, I can't act. I just like being me, because that's fun. The show started with, and has always been at its core, me fucking around, hanging out with my friends, being goofy and not particularly serious. I'm trying to share the games that I like with you. That's mostly just what I'm doing. I'm trying to make people laugh. I'm being goofy the same way you're goofy when you hang out with your friends on the couch and stuff, you know? If you've ever gone to the About page of my channel, it says what the mission statement of the channel is. I wrote it down just in plain text so that everybody would understand it. Let me just get it here word for word. Oh, start playing a little bit of my trailer there. Mission statement, making you feel like you're hanging out with your friends, but all your friends are idiots. That is the mission statement of the channel. I legitimately think I've done a very good job of that. I'm very proud of myself for the job I've done at trying to strive for that goal. Oh shit, did I just pass 100 million views on YouTube? Oh, I didn't even know. Oh, when did that shit happen? Hold on, I'll take a screenshot of this for Twitter. Let me tweet that out. There we go. I just tweeted it out. Oh, I have so many tweets to catch up on. Still need to go through all that art stuff. You know what? Well, we're tabbed out. I should probably get you that Dark Souls challenge link, right? Why is your mission statement just a description of my friend group? Yep. Okay. I'm gonna find this. I swear I'm gonna find this video announcement. I'm going on the guy's Discord. Here's the channel, Gamers Weekend. So this is a Dark Souls challenge dude who I was just watching the other day. And he referenced me, which I thought was really cool. He seems like a nice guy. I joined his Discord and said hi to him, and he seemed very happy about it. So let me just link this in the chat for you. There you go. Tell him I said hi or whatever, if you feel like it. Joey wants you to follow MDB on Twitter. Joey does want you to follow MDB on Twitter, and he's very, very loud and abrasive about it. You know, it's funny. When I started doing the Pokemon challenges, like 2019, it's forever ago now, it's weird to think that I'm like, when I started, there were like already 2 other people who had done them, and like, now I'm considered kind of like an OG of it. Like, the majority of challenges that I have seen, Pokemon challenge I've seen, the challenger has at some point shouted out me, which is wild. They often also shout out J-Rose, which I'm happy about because I think he's also fantastic at it. I don't know how I ever became some kind of face of that whole thing. Not the face, but a face of that. But I appreciate it. Regardless, it's funny, when I was starting that whole thing and I did all those youngster Joey gags in the Sunkern video, some people liked it, and a lot of people also commented saying it's like really fucking annoying, all the plugs. So I calmed it down. But it's funny because as the years have gone on, people still associate me so much with the youngster Joey thing, even though I pretty much stopped making the joke after that one video 2 years ago. And people keep wanting me to do the joke, but people got so mad when I first did it. So, like, I kind of feel like if I just did the joke now, people wouldn't get mad. I kind of feel like just for some reason, if I start doing it again, no one will get mad at me. Or at least, like, very, very few. It won't bug the general audience, it'll bug, like, a couple people who are vocal, you know? I think. I don't know, maybe I should just do another Joey gag. Because I still do you still have picture spam muted? Yeah. I can't keep up with picture spam. Like, I can barely keep up with my own Discord for the last 2 years because it blew up so much and I got so busy with Pokemon challenges. But now that I'm getting more free because I'm getting more time, I can start working on more elaborate Pokemon challenges. Me and Lilo right now are planning out the next challenge, and it's looking cool. Can I spoil? Let me think. Is there any reason not to spoil the next one I'm gonna work at? Yeah, that bat did throw a seed at me. It was pretty crazy. Can I think of a reason not to? No, I can't think of a reason not to. We are currently working on planning out some Smeargle runs, some Ditto runs, some HM only move runs, like beating a game where we can only use HMs in battle. Fly, cut, strength, stuff like that, rock smash, flash. We're planning that out, gens 1 through 5. We're planning out a trades-only run for Emerald, because we did Ruby, and those are different trades. We're planning out a trades-only run for Gen 5, just haven't done that one yet, and that seems like a pretty doable challenge. Need to research that more, though. Leela is largely the reason why we were able to do Gen 5 no new moves, and people seem to really be enjoying that. She helped me with the research of that. It's just having an extra pair of eyes looking over Bulbapedia and helping me figure out, like, routing and, hey, how are we going to do this, has sped up the process an enormous amount. I can finally get back to doing harder challenges again. I'm going to back up. Any plans on Dragon Ball Super Saiyan Densetsu? Yes, eventually. I will. I do still have the save file, so I can. I have no rocks to throw. Oh no, I have them just held. I need to set those. There we go. Favorite generation of Pokemon? I don't have a favorite generation. I wonder if Zubat has exactly 50 health here. How many level ups have we gotten? I don't know if anyone's been keeping track. I think I was like level 14 at the beginning of the stream. Hold on, let me, just in case. I just feel like I haven't dropped a save state in a really long time, and I'm petrified of any kind of crash, you know? I haven't had the emulator die on this game before, but I have had the emulator die on Pokemon Black before. It was only on a randomized file, so it could have had something to do with just the randomized ROM. But I also know that we fucked with this ROM a bit to get some custom art in it. So, you know, I kinda want to play it safe. We won't save scum with it or anything. It's literally just there as crash protection. I know that you guys don't want me to lose progress as much as I don't want to lose progress. No one likes watching the same thing over and over. That said, let's go do Rock Path for the billionth time. Any plans on doing Gen 6 challenge in the near future? I don't know about near future. We gotta research it more, but again, we're researching a lot of things before, or right now, that we haven't done before. Is it the one where you press B going into a fight? Yeah, you guys might have seen it actually happen live on, it was near the beginning of a black and white randomizer that we did on Whattageek's channel. It was right near, it was in the Dream Yard, I think. We had the crash happen a couple times before we realized what it was. It's if you hit the B button. Okay, this is what we think it is. Let me just put that caveat in there. It's when you press the B button at a certain moment during the beginning of a trainer battle, when showing like the two trainers before the Pokemon have come out. There's a certain moment where it seems like if you press B, the game just freezes immediately. Like, just boom, hard frozen, it's done. It was weird. I've only had it happen on randomized ROMs, but I haven't tried a non-randomized ROM since that happened. So I don't know for sure that that wouldn't just happen in emulator. I simply think it probably happened because it's a randomized ROM. I feel like I would have heard of that glitch before, or that crash before, if this was just Desmume being Desmume. This Pokemon learned a new move, so must forget an old one. Payday. It's Payday, fellas. For anyone who doesn't know, I used to play Payday 2 on my channel, like, as a huge thing on my channel for years. Love Payday 2. Does anybody know the actual power of Payday in this game? Is it the same as regular Pokemon? Like, is this just an upgrade from scratch? Or... I need my Payday 2. Payday the 2. Man, all the old Payday memories. Payday 2 tips and tricks. Payday 2 101. I used to run a show called Payday 2 101, where I just try and show you, like, hey, this is how this weapon works. This is how this thing works, you know? But then I basically stopped doing it because they did a weapon overhaul and they changed how every single fucking weapon worked and the stats of literally all of them. So every single weapon guide I did became out of date. And don't get me wrong, they had to do that. They were desperately in need of a weapon overhaul. But you can understand why, as a content creator, that would be a little bit disheartening, you know? It's like, whoops, all those many, many, many hours I put into this Payday 2 stuff, those videos are now worthless and no one will watch them. Fuck. Revisited Payday 2 earlier this year. It's still amazing. I agree. Every time I go back to it, it's still a fun game. Sorry, Payday power is 8 power, 90 accuracy. What's Scratch in this game? Does anybody know? Payday has the same power, but also gives you money. Okay, and is it the same accuracy? Because if so, no reason not to replace it, right? Epilogue episode, so to speak. We have the fans send in wonder codes and rescue us a few times. Yeah, what are wonder codes exactly? I think I need you guys to explain that to me. Same accuracy too? Shit, yeah, let's replace Scratch then. Well, I don't think we had that when we played previously, so we must already be a higher level than last time we got to Moltres. That's a good sign, right? I'm jumping back to Evil Genius 2, but have you played more on your own? I'm really enjoying watching it. I was hoping to see when you get more time. I do want to stream it more. I've played maybe like 3 or 4 more hours of it on my own, just like on a separate save file, just to play a little. It's really fun. I really like it. It's definitely quite different, but it's not so different that it doesn't feel Payday. I feel like it's just close enough. It's quite different, but quite... Sorry, did I say Payday? I meant Evil Genius. It's quite different, but quite Evil Genius. Do you know what I mean? I like it. Right, I gotta set Payday to set. Yeah. Alright, let's go give this a try. Rescue codes are when we faint in a dungeon. You're sent into a dungeon with the same layout as us. You go to a floor that we died at. To save, you fight against a monster house. To save us, you fight against a monster house. You can send a thank you mail and attach an item from our storage. That's really cool. Yes, actually, I really like your idea of the... Was it your idea or somebody else's, sorry, of the... doing an epilogue episode like that. That actually sounds really fun. It doesn't even necessarily have to be at the end, like an epilogue. We'll see. But that actually sounds really fun. I like that idea. Someone else's idea? Someone will check through in the chat and we can give them proper credit for that, I'm sure. It was me? Thank you. Thank you for that idea. That's a really fun idea. Payday can apparently hit enemies around corners if they're still one tile away. Ooh. Thank you for that tidbit of information. Thank you for that tad bit of information. Oh, hey, Dawes. Fucking... What have you been up to lately? When are you going to continue that Doom Let's Play that you started a million years ago? That was funny shit. Missed the grinding stream. Will it be moved over to the main channel eventually? Yeah. All this grinding footage will be put on the main channel at some point. I don't know if it'll be like right away or if it'll be in a little bit, but it will 100% be up on YouTube. Holy shit, I just remembered Tad. I know, right? They just tweeted again like the other week. And I tweeted them, I was like, is Tad still around? They're like, yeah, we're just starting up a thing. And I was like, hey, I used to talk to the creator of your site and they ghosted us for a long time and like people stopped getting paid. Like, can we finally figure out what happened? No reply. No reply. You punch $6 out of that bat. I do kind of like that I'm getting money out of them, even if it's very little. We're hitting good damage, though, finally. I'm starting to feel a little bit more confident about this. I'm liking Payday so far. There we go. I'm moving to my own house and gonna start streaming there, so maybe I'll finally finish that Doom Let's Play. Hell yeah! How long ago was that Doom Let's Play now? Because to me it feels recent, but that was probably a few years, right? Oh, we could totally fight this, especially with Whattageek's using Facade. Yeah! There we go. How's it feel to be as dumb as Brandon? I do still love that joke. Oh, Payday failed around the corner. Okay, okay. Well, we tried it. Level up on Whattageek, learning a new move. Okay, he's learning Razor Leaf. High crit rate, inflicts damage on the target even at a distance, range straight line. That actually sounds nice. Why is fuck you an MDB quote according to TV tropes? I have no idea. That's a bit vague to be an MDB quote, isn't it? Yeah, that seems like a big upgrade over Vine Whip. I just don't know if I want to replace Vine Whip or if I want to replace... Nah, Leech Seed Poison Powder is still kind of nice. Vine Whip is just only holding on because it's a grass move. Razor Leaf's probably better, but I'm guessing that you guys can just real quick search the power and the accuracy for me, right? Can you guys give me any reason why I should use Vine Whip instead of Razor Leaf, maybe? Because I know I would take Razor Leaf if this was like regular Pokemon, but I'm not very familiar with Mystery Dungeon. TV Tropes is a black hole. I do have a TV Tropes page. TV Tropes is fascinating to me. I love binging it every once in a while. It seems like a fun place. I do not at all understand how it's run. But I find it fascinating. I love that I have a TV Tropes page. Razor Leaf is just better. I kind of get the feeling it is. It has more power points, high crit rate. It's probably stronger. It's ranged. And honestly, Whattageek needs to hang back a little more often anyway. You talk about TV tropes all the way through Platinum a Journey, and I ended up getting a TV tropes page. Good reason to use Vine Whip over Razor Leaf is it makes things harder for yourself if you want a challenge. All right, we're going with Razor Leaf. Vine Whip will be forgotten. Say okay. Keeping both doubles your power points for stab moves, but it's up to you. Oh, that is true. Well, it's too late now. All right, I still don't want him fighting the Zubats because I can one-shot them and he can't. As has been the bane of my existence in all too many Pokemon runs, Zubat double resists grass. That was a huge problem in my Sunkern run, which was my second ever Pokemon challenge. Back before any of my Pokemon challenges ever took off, I was working on that hell challenge, where it's the lowest base stats Pokemon in the entire game, and the rival has a Pokemon that you have to fight every single time that double resists you, and he opens with it. He also confuses you with that same Pokemon, and he has Wing Attack, which is super effective against you. That Sunkern challenge is legitimately one of the hardest challenges I ever did. It's like that, it's Wobbuffet, it's Shuckle, it's Magikarp. Ooh, there were some ugly ones in the early days. Back when I had a little bit of free time in my life. I say that. I didn't have much free time. I was still working over 40 hours a week back then. But, you know, it quickly became 75, so... What are you gonna do? No days off. I take days off now. Now I can afford to. I take 2 days off a week. I will sometimes work a little bit on my days off, though. Either if I'm feeling unproductive and I'm just itching to work, which happens. I'm a workaholic. It's just how I roll. So... Anyone else think MDB could beat Moltres at this point? I kind of get the feeling that maybe I could in another level. Love to see you do a Dratini run. I have been asked that a lot. I think I have it written down. Let me just open Trello and check. Do I have Dratini written down? I want to do Gen 1 Dratini, because Dratini is kind of crap in Gen 1, isn't it? I don't have that written down. Let's write it down right now. I bet you people would really like that challenge, actually. That's a good Gen 1 run. Gen 1 runs generally get less views on my channel. Just people are less interested in it, I guess, on my channel. Or maybe it's just that they're less interested because J-Rose does so many of those. I don't know. I know that I've got some crossover with him. But I don't know. I still really like doing a lot of Gen 1 challenges just because they're faster. They're probably the fastest ones to do. Mostly just because of crazy crit rates, a lot of glitches, AI picks dumb moves. There's a lot of reasons why I find Gen 1 runs to almost always be the fastest runs. And so I quite like them because they give me enough time to research for longer runs. Now that I have a bit more free time, because I'm not doing the daily uploads, again, a bit more free time, but some. Wow, I'm missing a lot. Now that I have a little bit more free time, there we go. Can finally work on some more complicated runs. And so Gen 1 runs are still a very important part of that process. For the first time in I think about a year, though, I'm not going to do a challenge next week, or at least I'm not going to have one to upload that week. I'm going to do a vlog instead and work on some other stuff. That would be a week that I would normally do a non-Pokemon challenge, so I'm sure some people listening don't care because they wouldn't have watched it anyway, and that's fine. But just so you know what's going on ahead of time. Not ahead of time if you're watching this on YouTube, though. It's probably already passed. It was Escape from Crystal Lake, the one I thought of at the start of the stream. Oh, Escape from Crystal Lake is the one with dancing Jason Voorhees, right? Episode of Flash Trash? Yeah. Going through the Flash Trash playlist, okay. There we go. Why you or literally nobody don't do challenges in newer generations like Sword or Shield? For me, I haven't beaten Shield yet. I was too busy working on Pokemon challenges. What type of movies do you like? Honestly, I haven't watched like a new movie in a long time, so I don't know. I pretty much stopped watching movies after high school. Sometimes I still watch like a lot of Red Letter Media, and I'll sometimes watch some of the funny, goofy, bad movies on that, like just after for fun. But like, I don't know. I don't think I have like a specific genre that I really, really like. There are certain specific movies that I quite like. All right, now, as much as I would like to sit here and grind for you guys for the entirety of the rest of time, because I might still need a little bit more grinding, I'm not totally sure. I do need to get some steps in soon. I do need to make lunch soon. Fatima's going to be coming home soon, and I like to have some food prepared for her, just because she's working full-time at the moment. Her job is doing like a summer camp kind of thing, and so she's doing that. And my throat is totally giving out on me, which usually doesn't happen. But it is. So, we're gonna raid one of my friends. I'll find someone to... You know what? Let's raid Danica, because I was gonna stream with Danica yesterday. But I had to pull out. I ended up having some things come up. And she was totally understanding of it, because I have awesome friends. I've got the best friends in the world. Of course they didn't mind. But I feel bad, because I've been wanting to stream something with her for ages, because we're really good friends. And her streams are, like, super fun, wholesome shit. So I think you guys would like it. You can see it's Marshmallow Dragon, but, like, you can see the spelling in the chat there. It's not mellow, it's M-L-L-O Dragon. You can see it. You know the thing. We'll raid her. I'll start making some lunch or something. It'll be great. You got a great ginger cider recipe that helps with sore throat. I actually drink ginger tea, usually ginger and lemon and honey tea when my throat is sore, so I'm probably going to do that in a little bit. Anyway, I hope you guys all had a nice day. I'm gonna stream more often. I promise. I don't know when for sure. I make no promises. I'm planning a lot of cool shit right now. So be patient with me and I'll get shit done and it'll go up on the internet and then you'll watch it and maybe it'll even be funny, but I promise nothing. Thank you everybody so much for watching and until next time, have a nice day.